there? I don't know. It's a nice one. I think we'll keep that one for fish tacos. Try to debone them. We don't want any bigger than that. Welcome to Sonnenberg Outdoors. In this video here, we're going to do something a little bit different. Over a year ago, I did a video on deboning pike at Catch, Clean, and Cook. It wasn't a bad video, but it was a little bit long. This one's going to be a shorter one, concentrating just on the deboning part of it, the one-piece method. It's clean, and I think it's the best one that's out there. So anyway, let's get cleaning. We got a nice pike for deboning, 27 inches long. You don't want to go too much smaller there. The bones are real soft, and you can cut through them, and the meat is really mushy, so this seems to be a pretty good size. The number one thing for doing this is you have to have, I usually have two knives, a real sharp knife for taking out the bones, and a nice bigger knife, not as sharp, for taking off the skin. So for the first part here, we're going to use the sharp knife. So what you do is you cut around the gill plate, just like normally cleaning any fish. Go down the backbone. When you get to the tail, you can shove your knife right through and go right out to the tail. I'm trying to get you to see this, and it's pretty hard. As you go now, you just take your knife and cut nice down. You hear you're cutting off the Y bone, and we go around the ribs. Don't take the ribs, leave the ribs on there like a lot of people do. You go around the ribs. Just let your knife, if it's sharp, it'll follow around real nice. I don't take the belly meat, cut it off at the fins. And there you have it. There's one fillet, but you still have that Y bone. So what we'll do now is we'll flip it over. We'll do the same thing to the other side to get the fillet off. Stuck here. Again, cutting around the gill plate to the back. Follow along the backbone. Past the fin. Right down to the tail. And now you just peel it off to the tail. There's no bones from the rear end backwards to the tail. And now again, you take that meat off. You cut through. You'll see the rib bones, you'll feel it. You'll cut through those Y bones, that's normal at this point. There's the rib bones. We're going around them. Don't take that belly meat. Just go back. Keep going. There you see, another nice fillet, but still has those crazy Y bones in at this point. Okay, I'll get rid of this. A lot of people on YouTube do the 5-piece method. This is the 1-piece method. You do it in one piece. You got to visualize how the bones go, but once you do it a few times, you'll understand it and it'll be a lot easier. As you run your hand down the fillet, you'll feel the little picky. So what you do, you always put the back of the fillet, the top, towards you, and you cut down till you feel those Y bones. And in the bigger pike, you're not going to cut through them. And what you do is you just follow them, back to the tail, follow them, and there's one side. The other side of the Y is the lateral line that runs right down the center. You cut down, follow the lateral line, and now you go to the back, you're going on the bottom side of the Y bone. As you see here, you're taking the strip out, back to the tail, And there's the bones. That's all the Y bones in there. You see the fillet here? From the lateral line back, the bones are all out. That's one. Do a second one. Back towards you. Run your fingers down, feel the little picky picks of the Y. Cut on the. Now with your sharp knife, go towards the back. Go towards the back. You're following along the Y bone. You're not cutting through them. You're using it as a guide. And as you can see, there's one side. Now you've got the lateral line. Cut along the lateral line. Follow the lateral line. Cut through, and this is where the sharp knife comes in real handy. Rory wants to come out and have some fish, but she's going to have to wait. There's the other strip of Y bones. Put your hand in there, you want to double check. Feels good to me. So there's two deboned fillets. Now we have to get it off the string. Some people keep this here, you can boil it, make soup. You're wasting a little bit of meat, but you're not wasting that much in my opinion. Now you take your other knife, which is a little bit duller. Big knife, not that big a fillet. Cut down to the skin, and you start going along the skin. Now what you do here is you move the fillet. You hardly move the knife, you're wiggling the skin. And you're going along here on the skin. As you can see, there's the skin. And here is a deboned pike fillet. One piece. Not the 5-piece method, in which my opinion is kind of a messy way of doing it. Get rid of that. This isn't the best way of filming. I'm trying to do this the best angles to show you, but once you do this a few times, you'll get the gist of it. It's not hard. We used to eat the bones for years and years and years until my dad at work talked to an old Polish guy and he showed him this method, and that's what we've been doing ever since. Just check to make sure there's nothing else going on here. Bones, if it seems all good, no ribs, pieces of rib. Take your big knife, start at the tail, down to the skin, get started. Now move the skin, wiggle the skin, a little bit of pressure, not too much pressure. Here's the skin. Here's a deboned 100% pike fillet. To me, that's the way to do it. Simple. Takes a few times to practice it to get the gist of it, but when you visualize how the bones are positioned in there and what you're doing with those two cuts, it's no problem. Sharp knife is the key. Well, there you have it. The one-piece method for deboning northern pike. I happen to think it's the best one. It's the easiest. As long as you practice a few times, have a sharp knife, have a nice fish there, 23, 24 inches, not too small. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give her a thumbs up, maybe even subscribe. See you next time.